Parents and experts say schools aren't properly reporting bullying cases to the state, and they believe the state's definition of bullying is flawed. Reporter Isabella Vesperini joins us from the newsroom to tell us more.
Thanks, Joe. I spoke with lawyers, a state representative, and an anti-bullying activist who believe the Indiana Department of Education is failing to adequately measure and address bullying. And as a result, kids are suffering. Skyler Wampler is learning Taekwondo to move on from the bullying his mother said he endured at Edgewood Schools. From afar, the scar on Skyler's head from a bully hitting him years ago is invisible.
Our biggest thing is kind of push them away a little bit and say, get back, leave me alone. And you say it loud enough that a teacher can hear you or someone can hear you. And he's used that instead of having to be afraid.
Skyler was a target of bullies because of his autism. Kids would trip him, call him names, and hit him with toys and fists on his head. He was straddled and punched on the school bus.
He would be coming home begging and crying, Mommy, don't send me back to school. Don't make me go back because it hurts. And it would literally make me cry every time because, you have to send them. And I didn't want to send him back there.
Because of the bullying, Skyler gets scared more easily. He's afraid to make friends.
It seems like he shuts down a lot more since he was bullied. And he doesn't want to communicate as much.
It's unclear whether the alleged incidents were reported in state-mandated school bullying statistics. The state's data doesn't list every school, and many report having 0 cases. But while working with clients across the state, attorneys say they have seen a significant increase in bullying cases, not only in Perry Township schools, where they have a pending lawsuit, but also in Monroe County, Lake County, and Terre Haute.
The bullying is not being reported by the schools like they are required to do to the Indiana Department of Education. Some districts are doing a good job of reporting. So you might see, 60, 70 bullying reports for a particular district. And then you might see a large district and it's 0. And that cannot possibly be true. They're just not reporting it.
The state has a long definition of bullying that includes the intent to harass, ridicule, humiliate, intimidate, or harm the targeted student. To critics, the most important point in the definition is that it has to happen more than once to be reported.
Why does this definition exist in this way when we know that bullying can happen one time? But what it's created is that it's created a loophole for schools not to thoroughly investigate and document the abuse and bullying of our children.
Alstein has worked with a state representative to change the state's definition of bullying. She said that because school districts police themselves on reporting, bullying goes widely unreported.
Schools are competing for staff, for funding, for students, and so there's no incentive for them to be honest about what's really happening with our children and in these school environments. And that is a scary place to be in, because what that means is that they are choosing liability over our children's safety.
Carly Collier got verbally bullied at Edgewood Schools on her softball team and on social media because of her perceived limitations as an athlete, which put her on the junior varsity team instead of varsity.
It's not even fun to play anything anymore because you just are so mentally drained. I used to just want to come home and go to sleep. I didn't want to ever go out anywhere or do anything with anybody.
Carly quit the softball team and transferred to Bloomington High School North for her senior year.
It's a big relief off my shoulders, to be able to play and not feel like I'm walking on eggshells all the time.
Experts think bullying across the state is becoming more widespread due to the political climate and toxicity of social media.
People are just reacting now, and they're trying to control other people. And when you try to control other people, you yourself become out of control, right? If we're not showing them the way to be better, then they're not learning how to be better.
Edgewood officials say they've seen bullying occur on social media through posting mean comments. In Perry Township schools, Meyer sees kids filming and posting bullying incidents.
They're filming it in the hallways, in the bathrooms, in the gym, and then they're posting about it on all sorts of social media platforms, and they're bragging about what they're doing, and they're just blatant about it. And I think the increase in social media has attributed some of that to what we're seeing now.
Representative Vernon Smith proposed a bill this legislative session that would have expanded the definition of bullying that has to be reported. A single incident could prompt reporting. The bill passed unanimously in the House, but stalled in the Senate. Smith doesn't believe the state's Department of Education is emphasizing the issue enough.
I know that the Department of Education has a lot of responsibilities, but what you prioritize means that you're going to give more attention to it. And if you see it's a need, then you go and you meet that need. There is a need in this state.
Edgewood officials think changing the definition so that one act of aggression counts as bullying could unnecessarily inflate the data. To them, it's unclear whether there is an underreporting problem.
And at the end of the day, I don't know that the reporting piece of it is something that is most important. I think the most important thing is the education that we're putting into our kids' hands and into their minds to help them to be better citizens, to be better friends, to be better learners.
But Edgewood's efforts to educate kids on bullying didn't prevent Skyler from being bullied. And despite assurances from school leaders, parents still say they feel helpless when trying to support their kids through the bullying.
Am I letting him down? And am I a bad mom because somewhat I don't know what I can and can't do?
The Indiana Youth Institute reports that 40.6% of parents in Indiana reported their child aged 6 through 17 was bullied in the 2022-23 school year. This is higher than the national rate of 38.4%. 2024 had the second highest number of bullying incidents in the past decade. Reporting from the newsroom for Indiana News Desk, I'm Isabella Vesperini.